Okay, not great news about this guy. He stands at D. Plus. This guy flashes some red flags that you really need to watch out for. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He's not just talking, he's really pushing hard to get ahead, and he doesn't give up easily. His drive and sharp mind mean he often gets results, even if his style sometimes upsets people around him. If he learns to handle his anger and gets better at working with others, he can actually go far.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he reacts strongly. His first response might be anger or frustration, and he may even lash out at others. It's easy for him to lose his temper, and he tends to blame people around him instead of quietly fixing the problem. He doesn't shy away or run from trouble, but sometimes his reactions make situations worse instead of better.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
He usually stands out at work because of his strong opinions and push to get things done, but he isn't everyone's favorite. People might respect his talent and drive, but his sharp words and temper mean he often ends up arguing or clashing with others. He's polite when it suits him, yet isn't afraid to say exactly what he thinks, sometimes too forcefully.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do really well in your career, he's more likely to feel threatened than proud. He sees life as a competition, and your success might feel like a challenge to his position. You might notice him picking fights or trying to prove he's still the best at something.
What if you start earning more than him?
Yes, if you earn more than him, he's very likely to feel uneasy and even resentful. He finds it hard to accept when someone else, especially his partner, does better in areas he values. You may notice he avoids celebrating your success or tries to downplay your achievements.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He isn't the most careful when it comes to managing money. While he works hard and often earns well, he doesn't pay much attention to organizing his finances or sticking to a budget. He isn't reckless, but he's also not the type to save every rupee or plan for the future in a detailed way.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He is more likely to act as if he's richer than he actually is. He enjoys showing off his achievements and might spend money on things that make him look successful, even if it stretches his budget. Sometimes he buys big or flashy items just to prove a point to others rather than thinking about what he truly needs.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He's not the warmest or most generous type when it comes to kindness or caring for others. While he might spend on things that make him look good or help him get ahead, he's not known for quietly helping someone in need just out of compassion. You may notice he isn't the type who shares easily or thinks about little gestures that make others feel special.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He leans towards being secretive and controlling when it comes to money. He likes to keep decisions in his hands and may not share all the details about what he earns, spends, or owes. He prefers to have the final say and could even use money as a way to maintain control in the relationship.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He's likely to believe that housework isn't really his responsibility and may quietly expect you to handle most of it. Even if he sometimes helps out, it won't come from a place of true partnership or fairness. He might step in only when it suits him or to avoid an argument. He values being in charge and doesn't find much satisfaction or pride in doing household tasks.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He's the type who might stand nearby and offer advice instead of actually rolling up his sleeves. If he does help, it will often be in a way that feels like supervising or telling you what to do rather than sharing the real work. Don't expect him to step in naturally with diapers, dishes, or daily chores. He sees these as your responsibility, not his.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He's the type who argues mainly to prove he's right, not to understand your point of view. When there's a disagreement, he'll push hard to win the argument and may not really listen to what you're feeling or saying. This can leave you feeling unheard and frustrated, as your needs or feelings may not get the respect they deserve.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he's likely to say hurtful things or act in an aggressive way. He doesn't always control his temper and may use sharp words, yell, or even throw things if his anger flares up. His first reaction is to lash out, often without thinking about how much his words or actions can hurt you.
Does he have a bad temper?
Yes, this is the kind of man who gets angry very quickly. His temper can flare up over small things. He may shout, use harsh words, or become aggressive without much warning. Don't make excuses for this behavior and don't ignore your own discomfort or fears.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He has a hard time saying sorry and taking responsibility for his actions. When things go wrong, he's much more likely to blame you or make excuses rather than admit he was wrong. This can leave you feeling unheard and lonely, as if you're always the one picking up the pieces.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He is likely to push your boundaries and may not take no seriously, especially if it goes against what he wants in the moment. If you say no or ask for space, he might get irritated, try to argue with you, or make you feel guilty until you give in. This attitude can be exhausting and make you feel unsafe or pressured, both emotionally and physically.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
Yes, he's the kind of man who takes it personally when you're not in the mood for intimacy. Instead of understanding, he may react with irritation, coldness, or even angry comments as if your mood is a rejection of him. His strong pride means he struggles to accept no and may push or argue rather than respecting your feelings.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
You cannot fully trust him to handle private moments with care. If he gets upset or wants to win an argument, he might bring up personal things you shared or even use them to make you feel small. This can make you feel unsafe and worried that your vulnerability could be turned against you someday.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is more likely to be easily distracted by other women. His need for excitement, attention, and feeling important can pull his eyes and sometimes his actions away from your relationship. This can leave you feeling insecure or always having to watch for signs he's drifting away.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
Yes, he is likely to be over possessive. He may act jealous if you talk to other men, question where you've been, or try to control what you wear and who you see. This kind of behavior can make you feel trapped, watched, or nervous about simply living your life.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
Yes, in his case, what might look like a protective nature is really just a sign of a controlling personality. He may say he's looking out for you, but deep down, it's more about wanting to make decisions for you and keep you under his thumb. He expects you to follow his rules and could make you feel guilty or unsafe if you act on your own.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He's likely to expect you to do most of the parenting work. For him, raising kids isn't a true partnership. He may feel his role is just to make rules or step in for big decisions, while the everyday care, homework, and emotional support is left to you. If you ask for help, he might act as if you're nagging or say that you should just handle it your way.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he's likely to lose his temper quickly rather than stay calm. Instead of talking things through gently, he may raise his voice, scold harshly, or even act out in anger. The atmosphere may become tense, with kids trying hard not to trigger his anger.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He is unlikely to fully support you as both a mother and your own person. While he may expect you to give your best to the family, he might not recognize or appreciate your personal goals, dreams, or need for time to yourself. A truly supportive partner lifts you up in all your roles. Don't accept less than what you deserve.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later, after kids and marriage, change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, he is the kind of man who might support your career at first, but later expect you to quit once you have a child. His support may seem genuine in the beginning, but it often comes with unspoken limits that become clear when family life gets busier. You could end up feeling trapped, having to choose between your dreams and pleasing him.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He is more likely to act polite on the surface rather than show real warmth to your parents. He knows how to use good manners and keep up appearances, but genuine care, affection, or deep respect may be lacking. This may leave you feeling alone in managing the relationship between your families, and your parents might notice the distance too. He is much more likely to expect your family to adjust for him rather than making real efforts to fit in with them.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he is likely to make things worse rather than handle it calmly. He doesn't have much patience for situations he can't control and may react with anger or sharp words, turning a small issue into a bigger argument. You may find yourself caught in the middle, trying to calm everyone down while he adds fuel to the fire.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he is the kind of man who may act modern and open minded with you in private, but expect you to be a supportive wife when his relatives are around. He might want you to dress or behave a certain way, follow family customs, and put on a respectful traditional image, regardless of your own comfort or wishes. If you dream of being yourself everywhere, this situation might be tiring and unfair over time.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he's more likely to stay out of it or even side with his family instead of standing up for you. He doesn't easily take your side, especially in front of relatives or when old family traditions are involved. He values family image and his own position more than fairness or your comfort during conflicts.
Say you have a conflict with his mother. What will this guy do?
He has strong tendencies of being a mummy's boy, which means he will most likely put his mother's feelings and opinions above yours in a conflict. Even if he seems modern or reasonable in other ways, when it comes to his mother, he finds it hard to disagree with her or risk hurting her feelings. This can leave you feeling hurt and unsupported, as if your needs and dignity come second in your own home.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
Yes, he is the type who may share details of your fights or private life with his mother or sister, especially if he's upset or wants their advice. This means your personal issues won't always stay just between the two of you. Family members might know things you wish were private. It also weakens trust between you since you can't be sure your feelings or struggles are safe with him.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
So, overall, this guy stands at D. Plus. Some of these red flags can really become a big deal. You've got to be very careful here. Being in a relationship with this man day in and day out will feel intense, demanding, and often unbalanced. You'll find yourself walking on eggshells, always trying to keep the peace or meet his standards, never quite sure when his temper might flare or what might set him off.